Hi, welcome back. All right. Where are we in this text? Welcome back to LAM RIM, by the way, if you don't know where you are. Make sure you're in the right class. So we just finished a section on this a part that we're going to review just so we know exactly where we are. But we just finished up the fifth problem of meditation, which is basically once you get to a certain level of capacity or focus in your meditation, you're basically you kind of get to a place where you have to let go of the effort that you're putting into your meditation. So meaning, we have up until the fifth problem, there's always something that you have to do in your meditation to keep your meditation going and to keep it improving. And then there's a point where you arrive and your fixation is so good, your clarity and intensity is good, that you no longer need to put any effort in. The effort becomes a distraction. And so there's this line that says you just have to let go. And that's where we kind of ended it. Because and it's been a misinterpreted line, like, oh, you just need to let go of your problems. You just have to let go of your anger. Just let it go. Right? Yes, that's true. And it's decently good advice, I suppose. And the main idea of like, you just have to let it go means that when you arrive at such good meditation, such that you can just let go of the effort, which means probably none of us. Okay. Probably, yeah, some of you might be there, but the main idea is that once you've gotten everything down really well, then you stop making corrections. Like once you learn how to drive, well, even your car, it's not even a good example at that point. But if the car wheels are perfectly aligned and the road is perfectly straight, there's no variations in the concrete, everything is perfect, you could just take your hands off the wheel and the car would just go straight. No corrections needed. You have the speed, you have the angle, you have everything perfect, and you just go. And then you just let go of the wheel and just cruise on down the street. And that's what we're trying to get to. Well, we may not be there yet. So let's see here. So the last thing we did talk about was that line, you just have to let it go. All right, now we're continuing on. Here we go. All right. I think you guys have the right one. All right, so let's read 167. First person on the list is Marina, sitting at Sedona College of International Management in Sedona.
sentirme parviene absentutam tranpatam mic persintem I
Nard?
gallo.
Nard? It's a not. It's a. This is
Yes, nar nar lopa la sun panin pet.
all right. Cool. So this is a comment on the previous line here where we were talking about. Oh, it's not here written. Where we were talking about just let it go, and it says this was not Minpa talking about. So what all this was not talking about. So first of all, this is only referring to stage 5 of meditation. Excuse me, the 5th problem. Okay. And then the other stages of meditation. So here we are like Nyake Shendu. Like we even talked about the stages of meditation, which are coming up possibly today. Is that we weren't talking about these other stages before we reach this particular level. All right. Before we reach that particular level. So basically, what we're saying is, I think it says the 8th level. Hold on. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So once you've reached the 8th level of meditation, which we'll talk about soon, this is when you will be not having any problems, but the problem at this stage is that you think there's a problem and then you overcorrect. So what this isn't talking about is first any other level and below. Okay. And what it means to not is to let go. It doesn't mean that we let go of the intensity, like lupa. It doesn't mean that we let go of the intensity, the nar, of holding the meditation object, or that the way that we hold it, the drenpa. Okay, so letting go doesn't mean that we reduce our intensity or the way that we hold that object. There still is a kind of energy going in, but we don't check to see if we're having any of the problems of agitation and dullness, for example. So meditation does not become just a thing where you just don't exert any energy at this point. Right? We still have some bit that we're putting in. We're just not checking whether or not we have any problems. All right, let's go to the next line, 168. How about who's next? Anastasia is next on my list.
Höna mataki lo rabla kumrap chelo. Samge masimpar ndi kundu trempa lopani. Truva impatient. Dei
Yinpei.
jesumi
Let's get the sort of
impatient.
Yinpei cheered. Get the emphasis.
Impatient.
Yes.
Dei jesumi drango.
What would you do with that prenasal there? It's not mi drung, it's min drung. So it's almost gives a little bit of an end, like a prenasal there. Min drung, no. Okay. Good reading, by the way. I'm just correcting small stuff. So what is, Anastasia, we're going to play along since you should have some knowledge here. What's B?
Tibet.
Right, exactly. Do you know what nama means?
Not exactly.
Previously, so in the past. And then dak is a pluralizer. So Tibetan people of the past, like Tibetan practitioners of the past, they used to say things. This che is an indicator of a quote. Ludrab la gomrab, which means Gonrab is the best meditation, is the person who's at best of letting go. Okay. That's what they used to say. They used to say things like that. Best letting go is best meditation. However, is that they never, let me get this right. The proper, hold on. Is they never knew where the proper point was to let go. They didn't know Masimpar. They didn't know when they should actually let go. So this is just a continuation of the previous point. They failed to identify the time when you have to let go of that conscious effort. So this letting go, this letting go too early before, okay, is the big mistake. Trua Yimpa. So if we let go of our effort too soon, then we're making the mistake. So as such, Pabonka Rinpoche says, they as such, I would not encourage you to follow this advice. I would encourage you not to say the best meditation is letting go. So what happens when you recognize your meditation is not focused, or you recognize your meditation is not going well? This is not what we're talking about. That just means you're tired. That just means, take a break. But it's only when you reach a certain point can you let go of certain kinds of effort. And this is all good information for you to have when your meditation gets really good. So let's go to 169. How about, who's next on the list? How about Anna? Rec Ukrainian Anna. Yes, that's you. Yep, I'm talking to you. There you go. Now you're smiling. There you go. Let's read 169.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me here, or you can hear me only in Ukraine? Oh, okay.
Yep.
169, yes.
Yep.
Те чірна
Good.
меча м'ю м'юян чин па
Wa. Jingwa.
чинва ра
Good. Try more. Good.
тремо чоне тіндзинле гін рінг ва gyur vain.
Nice job. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. So why is that? Why is it that you shouldn't let go of effort? So here we go. If you're able to nacha, does anyone remember what necha means? Not na. Necha means one of the meditation words.
Fixation.
Yes, it's fixation, correct. So it's even if you get to quick fixation quickly, even if you're able to do it, but you do it quickly, but you get into subtle dullness, okay? meaning you get the fixation quickly, but then you fall into subtle dullness. Then you begin to move farther and farther away from real meditation. So what oftentimes happens is people are able to focus on pretty well on a single object, but then they immediately bring their intensity down. And so then they lose a bit of that and they fall into subtle dullness, and then you just stay right there. And this is a huge, I've mentioned this about 20 times now. This is a huge problem in meditation, because you're able to go in the object and then you let go of the effort and you're like, I'm just going to stay here like this. But that actually ends up being a obstacle to your meditation. And you have to learn to recognize it, because if you don't learn to recognize it, you'll just stay there forever and then be reborn, and that's the end of it. All right. 170. Christian.
Hi.
Hello.
Dena, Didang, Ni, Mikpa, Mitra, Mindra,
Good. Good. Nice correction.
Watsam, Le Kyong Tsul, Tsog Rim, Manchet, Ladra,
You want to fix this part 1 too?
Landra.
Good job. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
All right. So from all of that as such, right? Except for us changing meditation objects. Okay. So meaning that if you have, except for when we change the meditation object, the methodology to arrive at, the way that we arrive at single point in meditation is always the same. Even up to, even up to Sokrim, the stage of completion, the highest meditations in Vajrayana. Okay, so what you need to learn is how to, once you learn how to get fixation, clarity, and intensity on a particular object and hold it, then all of those techniques you learn are the same things you use irrespective of the meditation object. So once you learn how to do a good meditation and get through your agitation and your dullness, when you flip objects, oftentimes your meditation quality will go down, but then you use all of these methodologies to bring yourself back up, all the way up until the highest practices you can do that can get you enlightened in one lifetime. Sokrim, which is a pretty powerful statement. So if you learn how to do this now, then as you advance in your practice, it makes the rest of the practices easier, a whole lot easier. All right, 171. This is going to be a really cool section on how we actually practice. Like what could be your main practice? Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, that's not what I wanted to do either. Okay, where are all the people? I'm sorry, I lost my people. There are my people. Okay, Jackie, you're next. 171.
Daniyang Soha Par Ya
Shepar.
Shepar Ya Sina Sani Na,
Mm-hmm.
Najan, Sangsu, Shina,
Shine.
Shine, Kiso, Namsang, Baryate.
So Sangwar Che. This BY gets more of a ch sound, Chepa, like a J almost.
Sangwaje,
Mm-hmm.
Sande Bar, Namsang, Chodan, Ina,
Good. Ginduk.
Kinuk.
Good job. All right. So what is this meditation going to actually look like? Like now that we're getting into this, what is this? What is the actual method that we're going to use to get there? So first, you need to find a place which has the 5 conducive conditions, right? And other things. So basically everything we learned before, he summed it up in 3 words, right? You first need, so you're going to now we're actually going to start to meditate. Yay, that's exciting. We're going to try to do this meditation today, by the way. So you need to have the 5 conducive conditions. Does anyone remember what the 5 are? Anyone remember what the 5 conditions are? You can turn on your microphone. Safe, I think, is 1. Clean, maybe. I think you guys got most of them. So we need to have all of those things in place. I don't remember, actually, frankly, I didn't go looking and I don't remember them off the top of my head. So I was hoping you guys knew them. So you first need to have your place, and you have to get your place together. And then you need to sit yourself down on a good meditation seat, a comfortable meditation cushion. Duk means sit. Ten dewar means 10 is the cushion or a seat, and a good seat, dewa. So something that's comfortable. They didn't have meditation cushions when this was, well, they did when this was written. But you put your butt down on the meditation cushion, and then you take the 7 pointed posture of Vairochana. All right. The 7 ways you're supposed to put your body. Did we cover this already? Yes, we did. Okay, so Pavonka Rinpoche is saying, okay, find a good place, get a good meditation cushion or seat, which could also be a chair. I actually prefer to sit in a chair these days. I have a little like child's chair from like an elementary school that kind of gets me up higher so my knees don't hurt as much. Get yourself a comfortable chair and then put yourself in the 7, go through the 7 points of Vairochana's, what's it called? You guys know what I mean. 7-point posture of Vairochana, otherwise known as appearances. Here's the meditation we're going to do. 172. How about Natalia?
Right. P-way lama la
Chiwo.
lash chivo.
Chiwo. Uh-huh.
Chivo lama la shek tutson kanwa samchik chatel te veta ki par nan la chak.
Good job. Okay, so Chiwo, top of your head. At the top of your head, you put the Lama Shakyamuni Buddha. So imagine a little tiny Lama, a little tiny Buddha at the top of your head, hanging out there. Okay. And then see them split off from that image. So basically, I'm sorry, I've read this backwards. First, put your Lama at your head. All right, your particular Lama. You put them on your head, right? And then a little piece of that, they kind of imagine Shakyamuni Buddha comes out. So like our Buddha comes out of them. And then very small, like as the width of your finger. All right. And then you bring them down at the level of your navel, Tewa. And then they're facing you. So your Lama's here. And then a little Shakyamuni Buddha splits off, comes down, and then sort of sitting in front of you really small and then facing at you. So your Lama's facing out, and then the Buddha is facing inwards. All right. It's kind of a cool meditation. So basically, so then our goal in this meditation is then, well, we'll keep reading and explain more what's going on. Does everyone understand like the instruction? Lama sits on your head, Buddha comes out of your Lama, very small, comes down to your navel and faces you, looking at you. Make sure you take a shower, something like that. All right, next line. How about the other Natalia?
Hello.
Hello.
Dinan dan po na mikpa salva shigmi chunshin group kianmi dosla
Good luck. Just these two words. Good luck.
gola budan chak shaps sok cha shas
She.
she
This is, I know. Chi.
Chit samdan
Mm-hmm.
there bamme bata bulam tam chikcher chunna.
Good. Your reading's getting really good. Nice.
Much.
Okay. Deang Dang Bone. Here at the beginning, Mijung, it may not arise clearly the object, meaning the image of the Buddha may not be that clear to you, right? Like you might just be like, I can kind of feel or look at the Buddha, but I can't quite see what's going on. And it says, neither should you try, Miga, to achieve clarity at this point. Right? So you're trying to figure out what's going, you have your Buddha come out of your Lama, sit in front of you, and it may not be all that clear. That's okay. The idea is don't even try. Right? Which is really kind of a cool advice. Like, don't try if it's, don't make it so important that you get all the details. So at this point, it's just to try to get the parts, chashe, in a general way, chisam. What parts should you try to see on the Buddha in a general way, not specific details? Well, you need to look at their u, which is what? It's an honorific. It's the high honorific for head, like their head. Who is their head? Chak is their holy arms, and Shab is their holy legs and feet. All right. So just look for the general parts. Your Buddha has a head, 2 arms, and 2 legs. All right. You know, in my world, like I'm not a very good draw. I can't draw very well, but I can draw stick figures, right? Here's a circle. You know, here's 2 arms and 2 legs. You know, so all you really need to focus on is, you can't see all the details of Buddha, but you can see just they have a head, 2 arms, and 2 legs. And that's okay. Just get the general outline, like the general form of them. You don't have to have the whole thing. And then around them, you know, there should be kind of a golden, here's Ser for golden, yellow, kind of light, like a fire. Like imagine that this is where the golden room meditation comes from, everyone. So you visualize them there, and the whole area is filled with a soft golden glow. So in your visualization, you see the Lama, you see Shakyamuni Buddha come off of them, shrink down at the level of your navel. You see some of their parts, generally like an outline. And then the whole space is suddenly full of a soft golden light. All right, let's see what we can do more about this. Who has not read yet? Is Natalia Safulina interpreting right now? No. Okay, you were trying to hide behind the interpreter. Here we go, 174.
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Oh, sorry. I don't know how to read at all. I can just try.
Yeah, exactly. Just try. Just make some noises.
De la dranpa ma jet.
Yep, just J. Sorry, I messed up. J.
Oh. Can you hear me? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I don't know why. Chet pa chin tang da po sema yen pa. Sorry, I can't hear corrections. Hyangna de dra idrang pa chiku i kyong lu de la ching god Gotsu tang pa ching chong chen nam kis
Doing fine.
ching
Dude.
la chang ki manya la namet pa ing.
Yes, good job.
I can't hear you, but I think it was awful. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh no, it was really good. It was really, really good. For someone who said they couldn't read, I don't know. All right, so here we go. So after you've done all of this, you see the general outline. The first thing to do is not forget Majepa, right? Don't forget that you're holding on to the object, all right? The way you grasp it should be firm and without any kind of distraction, all right? So the idea is you're trying to build all the skills around one single object, right? It's not about getting every single detail of the Buddha correct. The idea then is you're supposed to, think about like you're supposed to get the technique down. You're supposed to develop all the skills. It doesn't matter how many of the 30, how many, the I don't know how many, something marks and signs, the 30 and 80 marks and signs, I can't remember the numbers. You don't have to have all the details perfect. I can't remember what the details are. But the idea is that you want to hold on to that object without distraction. If you're able to hold on to this, right, then you're able to cut. This is the way that you stop Jingwa and Gupa, right? This is the way that you stop all agitation completely. You just follow the methodology. That's the whole point, is if you follow through all this, you will eventually not have any agitation or dullness. And this is the matchless personal advices, right, of all the great meditators of the past. All right, is that keep this particular advice in your heart, is what they say. So if you can keep a vision of this Buddha at your navel, and figure out how to stop your agitation and dullness, that's the whole point. Those are the details you have to pay attention to. Don't worry about whether the Buddha's blue or red or green or male or female or long hair, short hair, it doesn't matter. It's really just pick the object and stay with it until you stabilize on it. So what are the things we're supposed to remember? 175. How about, who wants to read? Who hasn't read yet? I made you read. How about Nini from Vietnam?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm sorry, I don't learn Tibetan.
Don't worry, we're all learning.
Okay, I will try. Te yang jin ba ni jin chang dam pas
Pay.
cho la
Pay.
pay cho la cho ba ni ma yen ba cho do.
Good job, yay.
Thank you.
Okay, so when you have dullness, Jingwa, what are we supposed to do? You're supposed to tighten, right? You're supposed to put a stop to it by holding on to the object. Okay. By creating a firmer grasp onto the object, you stop agitation. When agitation shows up, you don't allow your mind to be distracted to anything else. Okay. So when you recognize you have dullness, hold on to the object more and do all the things you're supposed to do. When you have agitation, you don't allow your mind to go somewhere else by doing all the corrections. All right, 176. Who hasn't? Tracy McKenna. Oh, you're walking around, Tracy. How about Laura? Laura.
Detar kumpa na nacha yumna chikwa tang tatnye ru songwe yingtsun chane salcha tang sintang damtu tang salcha yumna gyutpa tang nyewe yotsun chene
Chene.
ne cha sal.
Good job. All right. So as we continue with this meditation, right? When chena, fixation, arises, we have a particular danger that dullness might be coming closer. All right. So as we get fixation, that danger of subtle dullness or dullness in general becomes possible. So I like this word, sunche. So basically be on guard, like be aware, like be prepared. So basically the idea is be prepared for all these things to happen because they will. So be prepared for that dullness. Be on guard for it. And how do you do that? Is you gradually turn up your clarity, salcha, and your hold, sintang, on the object itself. So basically, as you get that fixation, when you recognize you have that, the next thing you need to do is slowly just dial the knob, turn the knob up on the clarity, and then holding on to the object. It's just little incremental increases. Because what will happen is when you do get clarity, Gopa becomes close. And then, so you have to be on guard again, sunche, right? You have to be ready for the agitations, okay? And then you continually go for fixation. You continually make efforts there. So once you have something like fixation, you have to be ready for dullness. So then you start dialing up the intensity and your hold. But as you dial that up, you have to then immediately be on guard for agitation. So then you don't dial too far. And so this is where you're kind of like driving the car. Like your car's not, the wheels aren't completely aligned yet. The tires are just slightly off. So you have to keep going a little bit left, a little bit right, a little bit left, a little bit right. And then you're just staying in the zone. Like you're still in the lane. Nobody notices that you're going back and forth a little bit because you're just making these minor adjustments. This is a fun paragraph. This is when he makes fun of people. Tracy, are you able to read or are you Yes. Okay. Let's read this one.
Tena drupa shik gye gyaku che kyung drup gui ting tingzin la kongdra chik gupa mishepa detapu mimpar chirne
Mhm.
dong sowar selcha he yang Tang dampar jipe kie che ni dengi ding nye nyenzin shik nyepar du drup ge.
Nice. Good job. Okay. So this is kind of a little bit of a diss. Okay. He's kind of making fun of people. He says, a lot of people might look like they're making efforts in spiritual practices. Okay. They might look like that, but they don't have any real understanding of what meditation is. All right. So we all know these people. They show up at an event, they carry their malas. They're just sitting there and they're counting their malas in front of everybody, right? Like when they meditate, they have perfect posture, right? And you can just feel that they're hoping that everybody notices how super spiritual they are. Right? And it's kind of a diss, but it's also really, it's more about how people see themselves, is that you could see yourself making a lot of these efforts. You can be making a ton of efforts, but if you really don't understand what you're doing in meditation, you're really just kind of wasting your time by being super spiritual. Okay. The word cool is really a cool word. I like it because it means pretense, right? Like they're pretending. There's the pretense of doing great spiritual practice, right? They're using all the things. Like this is another cool word, gyak, which means like all the stuff that you take with you on a journey. It's kind of a cool word. You have the pretense, right, of taking everything you need on your journey to achieve something, right? You have the pretense of achieving, but you don't understand the actual way of doing it. So what are we supposed to do, right? Basically, it's saying the same thing over and over again. We should, our meditation should have two main aspects, right? It should have fixation. Here it is, nature. Oops. Nature. And most especially, it should have clarity, right? These are the things that we need to have, these two things we're supposed to possess. And all of these things all relate down to your firm hold on the object, right? So you need to have a firm hold on it. The firm hold you have is fixation and clarity. You're holding on to it, your energy is up and your intensity is up. So don't be like these people that wear their mala beads around to pretend to be super spiritual. It doesn't mean that someone who has mala beads and doing their mantras are not spiritual. That's not what I'm saying. But don't have the pretense. Don't have the, don't look spiritual, be spiritual. I think that's the whole point. All right, we're going to pause there and let's do that meditation because the rest, yeah, I want to do the rest next week. We're kind of switching topics. So let's do a meditation. Let's get ourselves comfy. Put your butt on a comfortable chair or a comfortable meditation cushion. Look how long it takes everyone to get ready. All right. Soften your eyes. Soften your shoulders. Chin parallel to the ground. And come to your breath. Notice the exhalations and your inhalations. And normally we would do the preliminary practices now, but we're a little bit short. So we will just pretend we have done them. And then see your own teacher or someone that you admire on the top of your head. They're small, about the size of a thumbnail. And you can feel the weight of their body there. And then around you see everything covered by a soft golden light. Like an afternoon sun shining in through the window. And from your Lama splits off the essence of your Lama as the Buddha, so that there's two beings now. There's your teacher and then the Buddha in front of them. And that really small Buddha moves in front of you in maybe 6 inches maybe a foot away from you, is then facing you above the ground at the level of your navel. And just focus on several of their parts, just the general outline of their body. Don't worry about the details. Just see the outline of their body. And then maybe notice more details about the shape of their head, their arms, and their legs. And now try to increase your hold on the object. Can you increase the clarity that you have? And clarity doesn't mean how clear the object is, but how clear your mind is. And then tighten your hold on the image of the Buddha. Increase the intensity of how much you hold that object. Slowly. And then increase the hold. Keep increasing it until you feel like it's too tight. Meaning you put too much energy in the system that now you may not be able to hold on to the object. And then back it down, decrease the intensity. And then see that image of the Buddha float back up and merge again with your teacher. And then have your teacher melt down your central channel into your heart. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Tracy, I'm severely jealous of the colorful leaves that you have wherever you are. Beautiful. So that's the meditation you can all do. The point of it, well, there's many points, but the point of the way we did it is that when you're focusing on the general parts of the Buddha and you increase your fixation and your intensity and clarity, at what point do you feel like it's too much? That then you put too much energy in one thing and then you're about to move off. Then you back down. And then you keep backing down until you feel what you'll probably feel. The way I experience it is it's almost like a relaxation that you get when you get into a hot bathtub. Not too hot, but it just becomes so relaxed that it's actually kind of comfortable. Then you know you move too far into dullness. So then the point of that meditation is then to increase and decrease, to get used to that going over the edge, going to the extreme on one side, and then going to the extreme on the other side. You only have to do it for 2 or 3 minutes, and then your mind's going to get tired anyway. So you can start getting used to making those adjustments back and forth. So cool. That's the end of today's class. Someone's joining advanced level 4 in SCIM. It looks like Xinjun Shang studying a beautiful SCIM course. So cool. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Happy Wednesday. And try that meditation this week. Just try it out. Like, you only need to do it for 3 minutes. And see, to get used to that micro adjusting, because then that's what ends up happening when you go into longer meditations. Cool. Have a good Wednesday. I'll see you all soon. Thanks, translators. Thank you, tech team. Thank you, those who are brave enough to read, even if it's your first time. All right, and say goodbye to everyone too.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Ciao, everybody.
Gracias a todos.
See you soon.
Please stay, team.
Благодарю.
Благодарю.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Have a good day. Ciao.